Did you know that the best time to book domestic travel is 6 weeks before your trip? Or that the best way to save money on a hotel is to make a reservation that can be canceled anytime before the day of your trip so you can check for a better rate before you leave. Well, just a few tips here on traveling. Travel expert Pauline Frommer is dishing on these types of handy travel tips and tricks that her family uses while traveling the country and the world. And she's going to share them with us today. Pauline, good morning.
Good morning. Good to be here.
Great to have you on the show today. We always love it when it comes to travel trips because we want to save money, we want to save time, and we want to avoid the hassle. Is it possible to have all three?
I think it is. You know, there was just recently a study that showed that those who booked 57 days before their trip paid the least amount of money. And oddly, those who booked their travel on Sundays paid 19% less than those who booked on the weekdays. So timing is everything with travel.
Then what about when it comes to baggage fees? I mean, those are one of the most dreadful things. It's already costing you enough money, but how can we lighten the load and maybe save some money on that?
You know, there's no way to avoid them if you're planning to check luggage. So I suggest doing what my family and I do. We only own carry-on bags. This forces us to be disciplined. And you know, if you roll your clothing rather than lay it flat, not only does it get less wrinkled, but you can put twice as much clothing in the bag. If you have to check luggage, I highly recommend getting travel insurance because luggage gets lost and there's nothing worse than showing up in a place and having to wear the clothes you've been traveling for hours in for days. So you want to be covered, not only for that, but finding an English-speaking doctor if you're abroad or canceling your trip and getting money back. I like travel insurance companies that have a global reach, like Allianz Travel Insurance is a good one, just so you're covered and you have somebody on your side in the destination.
Well, Pauline, we are certainly on the same page as far as the traveling lightly. I think it's so much easier when you just pack the carry-on. But when it comes to travel insurance, I think a lot of people can get confused sometimes because you think sometimes when you get the travel insurance, you think if you have to cancel your trip, it's going to save you. But that's not always the case, right?
Well, it depends on what kind of travel insurance you get. There are certain policies that are called cancel for any reason, and that's what they are. If your second cousin twice removed dies, usually that wouldn't be covered as a reason to cancel your trip, but on these policies it will be. Now, those policies will be more expensive, but there are ways to see all of the different options out there, and usually, you know, if you get into trouble, if you have the right policy, you can save money. The key is you cannot get a policy to cover you if something has happened that you're trying to ward against. Say you're traveling during hurricane season, a hurricane has been announced. It's too late to get the travel insurance after that hurricane has been announced.
Now, Pauline, do you recommend booking through a travel agent or booking straight through the airlines?
It really depends on what you're doing, and it depends on what you mean by travel agent, because Expedia, Orbitz, and Travelocity are travel agencies. I suggest shopping around. You never know where you're going to get the best prices. So if you're diligent about it, that's usually the best thing to do.
Pauline, great advice. We thank you so much for sharing your travel saving tips with us. We are going to have more on saving money while traveling posted to our website. You can just go to fox4morningblend.com.
The holidays have gone high-tech. Up next, the hot tech gifts for every budget.